Remember, everything except the 6-pin. Now our defending champion, Donald Santiago. He has a league average of 123. He has a high single of 200, a high triple of 464. He had a 698 in winning his roll-out. Now faced with the 4 horsemen right side. And everything went except the 6-pin. Donald is employed by the Botello Lumber Company. He is a divorced father of 1 son. A 10. Well, it was a fairly good hit, but he winds up with 8, 9, and 10 across the back. There's a piece of wood in front of the 10. There are 2 pieces of wood over by the 8. Another one is just rolled about where the 6 would be. But it's still going to be very tough to make 8, 9, and 10. Got the 8 and 9, but the 10 is still there. So a pair of 10s, and we take our first check on the scoreboard after 4 boxes of the first string. And right now, our challenger, Jim Orlandi of Westfield, Massachusetts, is leading. And today's challenger in every box has knocked down all of the pins, either with a spare or with a 10. Got the head pin only, as he was a little bit too far to one side of it. Now the 10 has dropped, so he had the 3-pin. Again, he has been pinning well, knocking down all of the pins. Strike! Not a hammer. Delayed, but it's there. Somebody in the back just said, "Come on, Donald," and I almost turned around. But it was for Donald Santiago. He has a legitimate spare leave here. It's a side saddle triangle, but there are 2 pieces of wood in between, and it's made up of the 2, 4, 8. Oh, the 8 did not go. With those 2 pieces of wood, it appeared that would go, but it didn't. He goes for it, and again he doesn't get 1 pin that you expect is going to happen, particularly, as I told you, there was wood in front of the 10, but it didn't go. So he has had 4 consecutive 10s, and in each case it could have been a mark. Now Jim Orlandi is working on a strike, remember. He leaves 1 and 9. Jim gets just one. B1. A 10. I've mentioned, obviously, that we do tape several weeks sometimes before you actually see the telecast, so sometimes the things that I pass along to you will be seemingly outdated, or to those of you who have sent me a note of some sort and you don't hear me acknowledge it, it's simply because of the fact that we are so far ahead. And that brings me to, I also alluded to the people who are legally blind, and from one of that legion of persons, I want to thank, for a very nice note, Mabel F. Nystrom, who called me the eyes of bowling for all of those folks who don't have the sight that they once had. Thanks, Mabel. Donald Santiago is struggling in this first string. He really is. Donald Santiago facing 1, 3, 7, and 8. There it is. Finally breaks through. That brings up Jim Orlandi. Jim has a half Worcester left. Almost came back and got them all, but he left the 7 and the 9. Also in the catch-up department, it's two people that I wanted to say hello to and thanks. It's an 8 box. I'd like to offer a special hello to Florence Morrow of Kittery, Maine, who is a devoted follower of this show. And she never misses any time Stacia Zernicke is on. 2, 4, and 7. Nice shot. Down they go. He gets 5. One pin better than his average. Now, Donald Santiago is going to have to do something in these final 2 boxes if he's going to get anywhere near his average. Here's a bonus ball. And he gets 8. He's left with the 5 and 9. Ooh, a miss, a total miss. And he missed it again for an 8 box. Trailing by 19 as he goes into the last box. He's just off. That one he held a little too long, and he punched out the 2 and the 8. He has left the 4, 7, and 10. He will not break 100, obviously. A 9. Down by 25 pins at the end of the first, as our challenger from Westfield, Jim Orlandi, has taken the lead after 1 over our defending champion, Donald Santiago of East Falmouth, 123-98. Starting off the middle string with a pair of 7s for 14. Now here's his challenger, Jim Orlandi. Jim Orlandi leaves 4 horsemen on the right side. Jim leading by 25 coming into the middle string. He's too full on the head pin and leaves the other 3, the 3, 6, and 10. It's a 10 box. Another slow motion strike for Jim Orlandi. Donald's been doing very well on the World Candlepin Bowling Congress Tour also. And that reminds me that I should mention the top 5 from the November stop. That was Jim Putney, followed by Bob Donahue, Joe Stella, Skip Esterbrooks, and Bob Burkeel Jr. Donald had 4 horsemen right side, got 3 of them, but left 1. Jim Putney's winning score was 1371. It's a 9. The ladies in that, Carol Downey was first with a 1286, followed by Beth Peterson, Diane Horgan, Janet Hoke, and Karen Langdon. Donald is struggling. And you can see the frustration in his face. One pin left for a 10. And he doesn't get that one. He seems to have overcorrected a little bit. He missed the last 2. That 2 misses were on the right side. Now, Jim Orlandi, his challenger, working on a strike. First bonus ball. He didn't like it as soon as he released it, and no wonder, because he leaves the 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has still left the 1, the 2, the 9, and the 10. So the total fill is 6. The 3 and the 7 are the 2 pins standing. There's also a piece of wood just to the left of the 3. A couple of others further back. He used it, made it. So it's a spare in the 4th, and we have come to the end of 4 boxes in the middle string, where we take another check on the scoreboard. So with a bonus ball still to be thrown by challenger Jim Orlandi, he is leading Donald Santiago by a score of 44-32. A frustrated defending champion, Donald Santiago, about to come to the halfway point in the match, rolling in the 5th box of the middle string. And they're not falling. In that instance, the 6-pin stayed up, but he wanted it to go down. He has the 4-pin, rather. He has the 3, 6, and 10 on the right. But that 4-pin looked for a moment as if it would go, and he'd be left with the 3 on the right. However, it's still there. Now, you can tell by the applause of the folks here that they feel that he deserved a break there, because it appeared for a moment as if he was going to be cheated, because when he hit the 3, 6, 10, the 3 went on one side of the 4, the 6 went on the other, but fortunately one of them bounced off the sidewall and made it. He's got a piece of wood that's on its right side touching the 6-pin. Let's see if he can do anything with it. Nope. All he could do was get the 6-pin, but the 7 is still there. It's a 9. Al Giglio keeping score on the electronic scoreboard, and Keith Williams keeping score on the big board for the folks who are here. Don Riley is our statistician and coordinator. Jim Orlandi on the line right now, trying to make a spear out of the 3, 5, 6, and 10. Nope, didn't get it. And there's Ralph Stewart, our lob-line judge and referee, sitting in his accustomed spot with his fancy black and white spectator shoes. I think I detected Argyle's socks up above those, too. Jim Orlandi a little full on the head pin. Phil Rubin, of course, is our producer and director. Our crew today, Joe Sukar, Skip Peabody, Roger Rice, and Dick Erickson. And in post-production videotape, George Ellard and Doug DeWitt. Crowd got a kick out of Jim's. Jim was able to stomp his foot strong enough, so he got the 7-pin to go down. Now Donald Santiago, still struggling. Too full on the head pin, almost a spread eagle. Chopped off the 2. He's still left with the 4, 7, and the 3, 6. And he hits a piece of wood, which diverts the ball. I'll tell you, he has had absolutely no luck. What's that old expression? If he didn't have as much bad luck as he's having today, he'd have no luck at all. Well, whatever. Yes, he made it. Jim Orlandi on the line, and Jim leading in the match, up by 36 pins. If he does maintain his lead, it will be his first win in his last 6 appearances. The last time, it was Peter Flynn who threw a 400 at him and beat him. Before that, Ed Zernicke threw a 387, Joe Carchidi a 385, Tom Osta a 417, and Bob Tapp a 370. Those were his previous opponents. A 9. Jim's first time on the show, he beat a heavy hitter. He beat Rosario Lecchiara, and then lost to another heavy hitter, Fran Honorado. Came back again and beat another biggie in Paul Berger. and successfully defended that title against Bill Hazard. Boy, he moved those around, but the 7-pin wouldn't go. Donald Santiago has had just 2 marks in the middle string, and that's double what he had in the first. Here's the fill on the last spare he had, and thin hit. He just can't get the big one. Just 5, and he's got the 3, 6, 10 on the right, 4, 7 over on the left with wood in front of the 4-7. Boy, he really took out that 3, 6, 10 crisply, but didn't get the little bang over to the left to get the 4-7. So for a 10, nope! Left the 4-pin, took out the 7. And once again, he needs a mark. He's in exactly the same as he was in the first string when he was at 89 through 9. So he needs a mark in order to break 100. And it won't be easy because he has the 4 horseman right side, but the other pin that he has to get is the 8-pin, and that's not easy to get. Nope. He took out the 1, the 3, the 6, but still has 8 and 10. A 9, and he again has rolled the same score as he rolled in the first string, a 98. Jim Orlandi has a spare leave with the 1, 3, and 6. Nope. A little too far left. Bill Bolton of the NBA wants me to remind all of you bowlers that the NBA's 1990 statewide tournament starts earlier this year. It's going to be starting on March 31st. And you all know that the adult portion features the open events and the finals of which you have seen right here on Channel 5. New this year, in fact all new, is the adult 100% handicap tournament. And because the 100% handicap for all bowlers will supposedly make all bowlers equal, it's expected this year's tournament will draw even larger crowds. I know about those handicaps in golf. That's supposed to make me even with some guys. It sure doesn't. And a 9. The score after 2, Orlandi 231, Santiago 196. Leading in the match by 35 pins is our challenger, Jim Orlandi of Westfield, Massachusetts. I mentioned that he was participating in the Candlepin World Championship up in Moncton, New Brunswick. Nope, he left the 4 horsemen on the right time. So before we get too far behind, I want to extend a congratulations to Captain Billy Treeful and his teammates Tom Ulster, Craig Holbrook, Don Richmond, Mike Morrill, and Jack Sanick. They are the new world champions. They won up in Canada. Making themselves and their sponsors, the Metro West Alleys of Framingham, Eagle Brook Restaurant, and O'Loughlin Construction. Very happy. 5 out of the 6 teams that made the playoffs were from the United States. And the captains of those teams were Jeff Atkins of Albies Mass Champs, Tim Lipke of the New Hampshire champions, our own Don Riley of the Portside Motel, and Jackie Ray of the Marjans. Donald Santiago gets a little break as Jim Orlandi throws up an 8 and a 7. Steve Reno of Southbridge was a high average winner in the World Tournament. He was hot. He averaged 134. Dick O'Connell of Abington had the high single, 196, and he had the high triple of 459. That's the 5th year of this Candlepin World Championship International, involving Nova Scotia and New Brunswick and our New England states. Next year it's going to be held at the Bangor Brewer Lanes up in Bangor, Maine. I know we have a lot of good friends in that area. So Donald Santiago picks up 2 as he rolls a 10 opposite Jim Orlandi's 8. Two full. He doesn't even get a complete spread eagle. He got the 1 out of there. He got the 7. He got the 8, and he got the 9. Took the right side out beautifully, but 4 and 7 still there. So a pair of 10s, and he managed to pick up 5 pins. Jim Orlandi, today's challenger. Jim leaves the 3, 6, and 7. Got a piece of wood going over. It hit the 7, but did not knock it down. Once again, waiting for some wood before he goes after that 1 pin, the 7. And he got it. For a 10. Horsemen on the left side are left. Jim delivered. He got it. Now our defending champion has rolled a pair of 10s, but incredibly has only 3 marks in the 2 previous strings. A spare in the first, 2 spares in the second. And you can hear probably maybe in the background that some of the folks were here saying, oh, come on, as again he's left with a tough split. He has the 6 and 7. Gets the right. Gets the 6 pin, but the 7 is still over there, standing and not wavering. Now he picks it off, so it's 3 consecutive 10s. That's the closest he's come to a strike. He put everything down except the kingpin, the 5. Made the spare. Jim Orlandi working on a spare, so he throws the bonus ball here and gets 7, leaving the 3, 5, 7. Wood between the 5 and the 7. And that should be helpful. Well, look out. The Wood came back to get. The reason he was turning around in disgust is because he missed the 3-pin, which was basically that was the object pin, and he almost got it as a piece of wood came flying back. So he's got 8, 7, 10 spare 10. There's a miss on the head pin. Now it's rocking back and forth as a piece of wood comes right back against it. 4 horsemen right side, the 1, 3, 6, and 10, and he also has the 7 and the 8. But he does have a wood right to the left of number 1. That made the 7 go, plus the 4 horsemen, but that 8 pin still there. Another 10. Now Donald Santiago, our defending champion. He's working on a spare. No bonus money so far. He gets 8, but he's got the 4 pin and the 9 pin. And that's tough. That takes care of the 4. Once again, he holds on to the ball a little too long. Four horsemen right side and the 7 pin. And nope. Too full on the head pin. A 9 box. And as a result, he gives back 1 of the 5 pins that he had picked up. Jim Orlandi, our challenger, has a triangle, 6, 9, and 10. No wood. And he makes it. There's a good fill. He gets 8 for the fill and leaves himself with a perfect spare leave. 4, 7, and 2 pieces of wood right in front of it. That's the way you like to do it. Get an 8, 9, or 10, and if it's an 8 or a 9, leave yourself with a makeable. Well, obviously with a 9, it's a single pin, but with an 8, so that it's not a split. Donald Santiago comes so close to getting a strike that time. Everything went down except the 10. And he makes the spare. Nine is the fill, and the single pin is the 5. He's all over it and has 2 in a row. Let's see if there's going to be any bonus money. Each bowler has put 2 spares together in the 7th and 8th. Now Jim Orlandi sees the opportunity here to pick up some bonus money if he can make it here. He gets 6 on the fill, and he has the 1, 3, 4, 7 with wood across the 1 and the 3. Can he move it over for $50? No, didn't work. Got the 1 and 3, but the 4, 7 still there. So the only bonus money so far, the $50 for winning the first string and the $50 for winning the second string that so far have gone to Jim Orlandi, but no bonus money within the string. Ralph Stewart wants to get a piece of wood, which is this side of the deadwood line, has to be cleared, showing his tremendous athletic ability and crawling in there. Getting a hand for it. 4 horsemen, right side. He made it. So he just missed having bonus money within the string. $116 plus 8. $124. And his league average is 122. Now Donald Santiago comes up, and let's see if he can make any bonus money, because he has 2 strikes in a row, rather 2 spares in a row. Nope. 6 is the fill, and he has 3 pins over on the right, the 3, 6, and 10, but he also has to contend with a 4 pin over on the left. Takes out the right side, but the 4 is still there. So no bonus money. Now trying for a 10, he gets it. 112. So he will need a mark in order to win this string and pick up $50 in bonus money for doing that. $5, 7, 9 with 3 pieces of wood. It wouldn't go. Got 2 of the 3. So the best he can do is a 122, and it'll be another $50 in bonus money for Jim Orlandi for winning all 3 strings. And, of course, winning the match, which is going to give him $700. And the final score, new champion Jim Orlandi of Westfield, 355. Donald Santiago of East Falmouth, 318. A lot of time, so I need a 683 for $950. This guest comes from Ruth Capoletti, who will receive those prizes. She's from Revere, Massachusetts, but her guess is $750, so it goes to $1,000 next week. And $325, Jim Orlandi, if you can knock down those pins there, those 3 of them. Not bad. Good try. Okay, Donald. Still there. Okay. Stay here, Donald, and Jim, if you'd come up behind him. Donald, no bonus money, but $350 and the smaller trophy, and at least you were with us for 3 weeks this time instead of just 1. I know you didn't want to use it as an excuse, but I know you don't feel good today, too.
No, I had a rough day. Punch.
I know.
Just takes a little bit, and that's it.
That's right. Jimmy, Congratulations to you. You're also our marksman of the day. You get a $50 gift certificate. You get all the bonus money, $50 for each of those 3 strings, $150 plus $700, and you will be our defending champion next week. Okay. Don Gillis for the whole crew. We'll see you next week.